In this video, I will be attempting to conquer the Aonach Eagach, otherwise known as the narrowest ridge in Britain, and its two Munros, Meall, Dearg and Sgòrr Fiannaidh, and I apologise in advance if I have absolutely butchered the pronunciation of those two summits. It was late August and this was me leaving Edinburgh at about 5:45 in the morning. The sun appeared just as I was driving up to Glencoe. This was the parking spot at the start of the Munro. It was very, very busy, and this was at 8:20 in the morning, so I do recommend if you're going there to leave in plenty of time. Thankfully I just have a small car, so I was able to get parked, but I was panicking a little bit, I'm not going to lie. There's the start of the ascent. As you can see, almost immediately it opens up to great views over Glencoe. This was about 9 in the morning, and I think I was just really fortunate with the weather, and I knew it was going to be a good day to get out and conquer the first two Munros. It is a steep climb out of the car park, but you're rewarded almost instantly with great views along Glencoe. There's me with my little gimbal trying to get the hang of all this video recording malarkey. Next time I know to hold my phone vertically. Sorry, horizontally, not vertically. Yeah, more great views. Look at that. I wish I knew the name of all the Munros and mountains in the distance, but climbing continues up to the approach of the first summit, Meall Dearg. I mean, when you look at that, it's hard to beat. More footage of the glorious views that were afforded to me thanks to the lovely sunshine. I was actually quite shocked at the weather, I must admit, especially for my first Munro. The gods were obviously looking down favourably on me. The views continue, as does the climb. It levels off a little bit at this point, so it isn't as steep. As you approach the actual ridge, it does get a little bit more technical, but I don't think there's anything there that you should be too concerned about. As long as you've got a good head for heights, you'll be okay. There is some climbing required, but at no point did I think I was out of my depth. And I have no experience of Munros, as I said, these are my first two Munros, so yeah. Coming up shortly is the Crazy Pinnacles, you can just see in the foreground there. This is me just making my way down to the Crazy Pinnacles. You can't actually film much when you're going over them, just to the nature of them. You need both your hands free unless you've got a GoPro strapped to your chest or your head, but I was just using my phone, so I wasn't able to get any actual footage of me climbing them, unfortunately. I can see how some people find these two Munros quite daunting. If it was snowing or wet and the rocks were slippy, it would be quite scary, but on a day like I had, I think they're pretty straightforward. At this point, I was just making my way over the ridge. In the footage coming up, I think I'm actually potentially past the Crazy Pinnacles, but it's certainly still on the ridge. Here I was just trying to focus on maintaining 3 points of contact at all times, and as you'll see, it's steep drops either side at this point. On some of the exposed parts there can be a queue as well as people wait to get across. Just be mindful of that. Once again, I was tinkering with my DJI gimbal I quite liked this shot, but it was a bit out of focus. You'll see me keep looking at my wrist. That's because with the DJI, you can set it up with the app on your Apple Watch, and then you can see the view from the actual gimbal on the watch, which is quite good because it allows you to know what you're filming even when you're not near the gimbal. But it doesn't look so good when it's obvious you keep looking at your wrist and when the shot is out of focus, so I need to learn to get a bit better, a bit more savvy when I'm using it. During the hike, I bumped into a group of other guys, and this was the footage one of them captured of me coming over the crazy pinnacles. I actually really like this shot. I couldn't resist the opportunity to get a little photo on this point. But don't be dumb, if it's bad weather, don't go on there because you might fall off, and then the air ambulance would have to come and get you because it's a steep drop. And I think that's the exciting bit's over. The rest was just the descent, which is quite bad in the knees, pretty steep, a lot of scree surfing at times, but there's a water source I drank directly out of there, and I'm still alive, so must be okay. Stopped in at the Green Welly in Tyndrum for a snack, which was a bad decision because it was absolutely hoaching. Taking stock of my sunburn. I'm back in Edinburgh by 8 p.m. Overall a great day, and I was very happy to bag my first 2 Munros. Only 280 more to go.